Hello, this is producer Patricia, and I'm here at the 35th Annual UNCF Evening of Stars. And we're going to ask some of your favorite celebrities. In 2014, how do you feel about the use of the N-word?
What, nasty?
Well, I am not necessarily a fan of the N-word. However, on my list of issues, it is not in my top 10.
You know what N-word I'm
Call me Mr. Jackson. I understand why people don't want to use it. I understand people who say it's a term of endearment. You know, and our culture is always taking a negative and turned it into a positive. I don't know how much of a positive the N-word is in our community, but I hope you can understand where I'm going with that. But I don't know. It's also a state of mind. You know, it's just a word. It's not who I am. I know my worth. So people can say and call me and people what they want, but as long as you know your own self-worth and who you are and what your contribution to society is, you know, ignorance is ignorance.
Girl, you got me on this one, because I think we all know as black folks, when we're saying to each other, we don't mean anything derogatory by it, but it can't be used by any other people. And I don't think we shouldn't be using it in public, which means we probably shouldn't be using it at home. So now I've made my decision. I need to stop saying it myself. I've worked through all my issues right now on camera.
I don't approve of that. Of course, I'm an old guy, and I don't think it's ever appropriate to use that word. It doesn't matter who is using it. It's not appropriate for us. It shows disrespect for ourselves. I think people are not really familiar with the history of that word, the origins in old Britain, and that it meant, when it was originated, a group that you have to have no respect for, who have no rights. And when it was written initially, it said, whatever you want to do to those people, you can do it. If you want to rape their wives and their mothers, you can. This is a very bad word with a lot of historical significance.
I think that it's not useful, it's not helpful. It usually suggests to me someone who has conflicts about being black. And so it's not one of the words in my vocabulary, but I don't judge.
And even though you may think you're using it in a different word, the word already has a life. It already is what it is. And so you can't just change that. That's out there, that's part of history, and we should have more respect for ourselves and apply that label to ourselves.
I really feel like we just shouldn't use it, period. You know, it's a word. People will say it's just a word, but if it's a word that provokes discourse, or if it's a word that can provoke violence, then just don't use it. It's really that simple. I don't really understand why it's that difficult.
I can't lie. I treat the N-word like how I treat any other cuss word. When I'm around my elders, it's just certain things you don't really say, and they're very sensitive to things. And you know, you use it at your own discretion. You know what I mean? You be very aware of how you come off, who you're around, and you know, just understand that word can be very, very hurtful to a lot of people. So you know, it's something to be mindful of.
I feel like words have as much power as you give them. I feel like you know, it definitely is something that held our culture down for many years and years and years and years. But I feel as though there's a way to use negative words positively, and there's a way to use positive words negatively. You know, it's all in the strength that you give the words.
It's weird when other people who are not black use it. That kind of freaks me out a little bit, but it's a weird one. It's a weird subject. I just think as long as you don't offend people when you use the word, it's fine.